About a year since I actually finished my Undertale playthrough on this channel, and obviously now I have a separate channel for gaming content, so bit redundant, but that playthrough will still remain on this channel. Like, if I want to re-upload everything onto my second channel, I will, but I probably won't. So, has my opinion changed on Undertale? What do you fucking think? Of course it hasn't. I still love the everlasting shit out of this game. It's still brilliant. It's probably the best indie game I've ever played, other than Five Nights at Freddy's. But then again, Five Nights at Freddy's, from the gameplay standpoint, is a bit shite, but the lore behind it is really fucking interesting. But this video isn't about Five Nights at Freddy's. This is about Undertale. So, in celebration of the 1 year anniversary of my playthrough, what we are going to do, indeed, what we are doing, we are going to count down my top 10 Undertale bosses. Now, to be on this list, it has to be a boss, what the game considers a boss. That is, it can be a mini-boss, it can be a regular boss. So, just to let you know, spoiler warning, because I know Undertale's will become 3 years old this year, but who cares? Undertale is a game that is best experienced blind. So, if you haven't played Undertale, go get it on Steam. I think the summer sale's still a thing. If it isn't, then well, shit. But the game's quite cheap. It's like £8, and it has a ton of replayability. Like, there's 3 different routes you can go. But, like, I'm not going to say that because that's spoiler territory. But if you haven't played Undertale, don't watch this video, or if you want, go watch my playthrough. Because that's on this channel. There's a playlist, or you can just scroll down and it will have that there. So if you want to watch through the game, you can instead of playing it. But then again, playing it is the better experience. Spoiler warning for Undertale and all that jazz. So this is going to be a top 10 instead of a top 5 because, well, this game deserves that sort of treatment. So if this video is a bit long, then well, I'm sorry, but I'll try and keep it as short as possible. But otherwise than that, let's get in. Everybody. Yeah, I might get a lot of flack for saying this, but, you know, Asgore gets number 10. But the problem is with Asgore is that it's lost its appeal over time to me, and as after a recent playthrough, hence, of Undertale, hence the reason why I'm making this list, Asgore's fight has lost the general appeal, and the problem is that, well, this fight is amazing. I'm not gonna lie, I like the mechanics in this fight, how it's like expansion on Toriel's fight with a lot more stuff, because obviously they're both goats, and basically they have similar fighting styles, and you know, that's fine, but obviously the main mechanic and the main gimmick comes with Asgore's little pitchfork staff looking thing, where he swings it and then it changes colour to like orange, yeah, it is orange and blue, basically telling you that, oh, you've got to do that, you've got to do this. But yeah, Asgore is a good fight. The music is amazing. I mean, the music is brilliant in all of these fights. I mean, yeah, but that's the main problem with Asgore's fight. Asgore's fight is a brilliant fight, but it loses its novelty after a while when you play through the game so many times, and then it's like, this is just stopping you from getting to the awesome final bosses, which I can guarantee all of them are on this list. Hence the reason, like, spoiler warning if you haven't listened, down for spoilers. Yeah, thank you. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk Muffet and why Muffet is a good fight and why this fight was fucking hard on my first playthrough. Seriously, this fight is a pain in the arse. Like, if you want a hard fight for your first playthrough, this is where, unless you're shite with bullet hell games, you're gonna get a pretty hard challenge when it comes to Muffet. But the reason why Muffet is actually quite low is due to the fact with Muffet is that, well, there's one little mechanic which just allows you to completely skip the whole fight. Basically, if you get an item, which I'm pretty sure you'll find it from the first area in the game, and you're somehow able to keep it, but basically the whole duration of the game, you can completely skip her fight. And I like the mechanic, it's the purple heart mechanic, but it's just controlling it which is the problem, because it gets annoying, it gets aggravating, and When I see people praise Muffet, it's mainly just for that mechanic, but it's the annoyance that you can just completely skip the fight, and that's probably why this fight is actually quite low down. Oh god, the mad dummy. What a character. What an amazing character this guy is. Said nobody ever, but his boss fight is actually pretty nice, hence the reason why he's got the number 8 spot on here. Now, the reason why the mad dummy's on here is basically take the Napster Boot fight, ramp up the music a bit, because it basically sounds like a hyper, like, oh, I'm pissed version of Napster Bleak's music when you, well, Napster Bleak's theme. But the thing is with the mad dummy is that he is quite a good mid-game fight, just being the fight just before Undyne in the waterfall, which is pretty nice. It sort of gives you a taster, but the problem here's with the mad dummy is that I wish we could have his character fleshed out a little bit more. Like, I reckon that would actually make his, like, thing, like, his fight a little bit better, but the problem is with mad dummy is that the game doesn't even, the Undertale wiki doesn't even know if it's a mini-boss or a boss, but in my opinion, I would say it is a mini-boss, in my opinion, because usually most mini-bosses have just the standard heart mechanic, as most bosses have a gimmick, which is fine to the game, but this boss's main gimmick is that you've got to dodge the attacks in a way which actually makes it hit him to progress the fight, which is actually a really cool concept, but the only problem is that obviously it's a bit short, and I wish obviously they fleshed out, like maybe have the mad dummy like appear like later in the game and then like have him come back like super mega pissed and call him the insane dummy or something along those lines. But realistically, yeah, this fight was good. It was alright. I liked it. This is awkward. The next fight that I'm about to put on this list is incredibly spoiler heavy, and I suggest if you haven't left this video, the rest of the list, like, you should probably be gone by now, either watching my playthrough or, you know, doing whatever the hell you want, like playing the game. That might be a good idea. And obviously then come back after you've done that and enjoy this here. So, this next boss is widely considered to be the best boss in the entire game. And I understand people's opinions, but it's my opinion that, well, internet, please don't kill me. Number 7 is Omega Flowey, or Photoshop Flowey, whatever name you want to call it. The internet's weird, let's just be honest here. So, the reason why, this is actually quite low is because, for a final boss, I found it really gimmicky. Like, obviously it used the regular heart mechanic that we expect, that's used in every final boss, because obviously it's the main primary mechanic of the game, but I just found this fight to be alright. It was good. I liked it, and the music fits the mood and the art style of a character like this character. Most of the game is done in 16-bit style sprite work, but this is just pure like an abomination of nature, which I guess fits Flowey's character, as Flowey's gone full insane in this fight, like taking all the human souls, which brings me on to the human souls. Basically, all of the weapons you will find throughout your adventure are used here, and this is the epiphany where it's like, hold on, wait, shit, those weapons? They were the fallen humans? Ah, shit. So, yeah, that is actually quite a nice thing about this fight, and obviously it expands the lore of this fight. So, then, hold on, my cat is looking. Jerry, what are you doing? I'm just getting this now, my cat is... ah, shit. This boss actually deserves this spot for being the introduction boss. Toriel is an amazing boss, and I'm telling you that now. But the first proper boss in the game, because, well, first real big encounter in the game is Napster Blue, but Napster Blue is a mini-boss, so, you know. Toriel is brilliant in terms of the boss. It tests what you've learnt so far, and is one of those fights which really impacts the story. Most people in their first glance, because you're told that always talking to the enemy will resolve the conflict, which is golden and saying throughout the ruins, but the problem with Toriel is that most people will just kill her, because they can't find a way of getting past, because talking doesn't work. Secretly, you should probably have a look at that mercy button, you dear friend, because there's an option called spare. Maybe, just maybe, you should use that, and, well, you won't have to kill her. But it's the implications after this fight as you have a conversation with Flowey, and I'm not going to tell you what happens, because, well, it will spoil it, and it will spoil the massive epiphany, because really, you should probably play this game, because it's brilliant. It's on Steam, it's £8, maybe you just like it like I do. Like, I love it. It's like my second favourite game of all time, because you can all guess which is number one. We'll get to that when we'll get to that. So, the thing is with Toriel is that it's a nice introduction fight, and it's actually impossible to die on this fight unless you actually try yourself to get yourself killed. So, I mean, he wants a free victory, because, you know, everyone loves free victories on this planet. Okay, so number 5, Undyne's fight, I'm talking about Undyne, was brilliant. Her music was perfect, and, you know, her whole mechanic was brilliant, so how the hell do you make that even better? Well, I'll tell you what you do. I shall tell you what you do. You take Undyne's fight, you give it a massive new difficulty factor, scaling the difficulty about 10 times, taking all the mechanics and just building on it on that fight. You make the music even more awesome and whack it in the genocide run and raise the stakes. Like, raise the stakes to a point where it's like, we're getting roasted. So yeah, Undyne the Undying comes in at number 5 and it's just like, Jesus Christ. And this fight is amazing. It's brilliant, and it basically shows you that this is the first actual fight in Genocide Run. There are only 2 boss fights in the Genocide Run, and that is me being honest, other than the Genocide Run being an endless grind fest, which people find annoying. But 2 boss fights show up in this run and make it amazing, because it's hard. Like, the Genocide Run, you're not supposed to enjoy, and then they whack in 2 incredibly hard boss fights. And is it wrong for me to say when I was sweating when I was first playing through this fight, and I found this fight harder than the Genocide Run final boss, which, yes, is on this list, because that final boss is amazing. All the final bosses are on this list, but obviously the question is when, except for the neutral one, which was Mega Flowey, because he's already gone. Yeah. So yeah, if you're gonna do a Genocide Run, clench your butt, because Undyne the Undying is a brilliant, but incredibly difficult fight. Speaking of boss fights, that makes me want to pull my hair out, how about the Genocide final boss? Yeah, Sans. Sans is amazing, and I'll tell you why Sans is amazing. There's something going on in my computer. Hold on. Basically, Sans, oh boy, this fight is like Pyrus's fight on crack. Like, if you thought Pyrus's fight was bad, you're gonna have a bad time. I'm sorry for that, I will never make jokes like that again, but the problem is with Sans' fight is that you wouldn't expect a character like Sans to have the most difficult boss fight in the game, and the reason why is because, well, he has only 1 stat, 1 HP and 1 attack, but the question is, how long is it going to take you to hit him? Like, are you going to kill him first, or is he going to kill you first? Probably that he's going to kill you first, like, at least, like, 20 times, because this fight is about trial and error. That is mainly the gimmick of this fight. And yes, he does do 1 damage for you, but the damage lingers. Think of it around getting poisoned. And there are no invincibility frames. So by the time you're even quick enough to react when the fight starts, you'll be dead. You will be dead. And then obviously this fight is trial and error. It's got a very trial and error nature, and this is one of the hardest bosses ever in a video game. Like, seriously, this fight took me a good solid 4 hours to beat in my first Genocide run playthrough, and after that point, I didn't even feel good for winning. I was just like, just thank God it's over, which is what the Genocide run is. Like, you're not supposed to be enjoying yourself in the Genocide run. You're a murderer, you're insane, you're just killing everyone for the sake of doing it. And Sans shows up at the end just like, well, you got him done fucked up now. I wonder what if we had a massive metal box in the game that was already a good character and gave him legs. And a battle theme which is just like, oh!
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, Metaton's final fight, Metaton EX, like, which is just, like I said, this fight is brilliant. Maybe it's just because of the music, and it's like one of my favourite battle themes in a game. Like, so, because, oh my god, it's so bombastic, it's got a saxophone, it sounds all robotic and stuff, and it's brilliant. But the thing is that this fight is brilliant. It uses the yellow heart mechanic, which is basically Gallagher without the ships and shooting at rockets, except just shooting at Metaton's heart. Basically, the whole gimmick of this fight is that if you're on the pacifist run, you've got to raise the ratings to a point where Metaton will just end the fight, or if you're on a neutral run, you just gotta, obviously, kill him if you want, but seriously, spare this man. This man is amazing. And then on a Genocide run, there's just a completely different fight, which couldn't even be considered a boss fight, so, you know, whatever. But yeah, Metaton's EX fight is brilliant. The music is brilliant. The his legs, oh boy, his legs. Oh my god, those legs are brilliant. I mean, can we just talk about his legs for a second? I mean, can we? No, we've got to shoot that thing. So, yeah, Metaton's EX fight, the thing is with these last 3 fights on here, I won't be able to say much, because they're just brilliant. They're amazing, and their quality, like, any of these 3 fights could have taken the #1 spot, but obviously, one of them had to be #1. Like, the thing is with Metaton, the fight is class, and it's just Metaton's personality that makes the fight 10 times better and amazing. So, yeah, Metaton EX gets #3. Can I ask you a question before we continue? Do you like spaghetti? Do you like skeletons? Remember Skeletor? Do you like someone like that, but not evil? Do you like people that are a narcissist? Well, if you answered yes to any of these questions, then you will love this fight and you will love this character. #2 is Pyrus. I mean, my opinion on this character is already brilliant. I mean, if you watch my playthrough, I blatantly state that Pyrus is my favourite character in the game. And, you know, that opinion hasn't changed. Pyrus is brilliant, and his fight is brilliant, turning a blimmin'... I'm getting worked up even talking about his fight. Turning a bullet hell game into a bloody platformer with a whole blue heart mechanic. Because Sans is like, well, you better watch out if he has a blue attack or something along those lines. Which, yeah, he does have something like that. But turning your game into a platformer is what I would call class. And it was this point when I first played through Undertale, like, this game. Oh, it's brilliant. This game, it's too perfect for humanity. Toby Fox is a brilliant video game creator. And then Pyrus' fight is just like, I love it so much. So yeah, Pyrus is #2. Like, all his bones. Like, the thing is, I wouldn't make a boner joke, but like, the game kind of does it for me. I mean, like, if you thought, like, Sans is basically, if it weren't for Pyrus, Sans' fight wouldn't be hard, because Pyrus sort of acts as training wheels for Sans' fight, because they both use the blue heart mechanic. So that's the thing. It's just Sans is just mega balls deep, incredibly hard. So if Pyrus got #2, then who could possibly be #1? By process of elimination, and by watching my playthrough, you will guess who is #1 on this list, and like why I love Undertale can be squared in this fight alone. So, you know, it's better just to show you. Yep, I did it. I said all the final bosses were on this list. Sans was the genocide one at number 4. Omega Flowey being at number 7, which was the neutral one. And then Azriel Dreamer taking number 1. Whose name is actually an anagram for serial murderer. Which sort of makes sense as that at the beginning of the fight he kills like everyone. And then he turns into this thing, like, and then it gets revealed back, oh, well, this is and it's like, oh my god, all the rainbows! I feel so sorry for anyone that might suffer from epilepsy, because this fight can seriously freaking screw with your eyes. But this fight is amazing. The music is amazing. It gives you that hope, gives you that fight, is that this is it. This is the last fight, and you've got to save your friends. The first phase is hopes and dreams, and it's amazing. And then, ironically, the second phase is called Save the World. So, you know, this fight is just perfect. And it even has little snippets of all the other boss fights in there as well. You have to go and save your friends, like, to get their memories back of you. And I can't say enough about Azriel's fight, because this fight, it is amazing, and it needs to be experienced, and hopefully you'll share the same opinion with me, saying that this fight is. So, anyway, thank you guys for watching. This has been Aiden Miles. I'm obviously happy 1 year anniversary to my Undertale playthrough. So thank you guys for watching. This has been Aiden Miles, and stay determined, everybody.